you go through them all, you'll find two things. إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. And there's only two things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the ajr, the reward for it is without hisab. One is patience, right? And then the other is in the hadith here, which is sawm. Because sawm is basically just patience, right? So everything else, there's a number that's put on it, right? There's a number that's put on it, and the malaika are told, write this much, right? But sawm is something that Allah does not delegate to anyone else. He says, no, I'm going to give it without any hisab, right? So, وَإِنَّمَا كَانَ الصَّوْمُ مَخْصُوصًا بِهَذَا الْخَوَاصِ لِأَمْرَيْنِ. So, now after the hadith, Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah says, okay, why does sawm have this specialty? What's so special about it? So he says the first thing, أحدهما أنه يرجع إلى كف نفسي وهو عمل سري. Because this relates to internal discipline, right? Self-restriction, your ability to refrain, right? That comes from within. It's not a refraining that is exerted from external forces. It's something that rises from a person themselves. Because everyone else around you might be eating, and they might not even know that you are fasting. So this is something that is completely internal. So since it's something that is, special, and it is something that is hidden between the slave and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is a secret affair between the two. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also keeps the reward for it secret. Okay? And then the second one says, أنه قهر لعدو الله فإن الشيطان هو العدو. Okay, so over here, as Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, we've seen him do before in zakat as well, that he goes into the discussion of the spirituality. He says, well, because it defeats and it subjugates and it subdues the enemy of Allah. The enemy of Allah is shaitan. Now the question is, how does shaitan, how does he attack us? So shaitan attacks us. He's a very smart enemy. He attacks you through your own nafs. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ يَجْرِي فِيكُمْ مَجْرَى الدَّمِ أو كما قال. The shaitan runs within you the same way that your blood runs within you. Meaning your blood is internal to you, right? Okay. So shaitan uses your own nafs against you. So that is why when a person is fasting, what are they doing? They're cutting off the bloodstream for shaitan. Because you cut off nafs. When you cut off nafs, now shaitan doesn't have a way. Right? So that's something that, he's really spent some time understanding this. And that's why he says, that's also why, he writes over here, that this is the secreted understanding, why are the shayateen locked up in Ramadan? Right? Okay, the shayateen are locked up. In what sense? Because you've cut off the nafs. When you've cut off the nafs, you've also cut off the shayateen. Okay? So after mentioning these 2 points, okay, we're not going to finish it all today. We might have some left for tomorrow. He says, if you remember in zakat, we said that there were 3 levels. Right? So similarly, over here, there are 3 levels, but from 2 different perspectives. Okay? One perspective is from the perspective of how much fasting. Okay? And then there's another perspective. So today we'll just do how much. Okay? Now since Ramadan is coming to an end, we want to pay attention to this, that any amal that we're doing in Ramadan, we don't want that amal to completely stop. Okay? So now sawm, fasting, is also an amal. Right? Unfortunately, it's become the habit of many of us that sawm is something that we only do in Ramadan. That was not the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So over here, Imam al-Ghazali, he says there's 3 levels. Okay? The first level is the people that only and only fast in Ramadan. Okay? That is the lowest level. Okay? So he says that's the lowest level. And then on the other hand, of the spectrum, you have the highest level, which is the Sawm of Dawood alayhi salam. Anyone can tell me what's the Sawm of Dawood alayhi salam? Every other day. Okay, you fast one day, you leave one day. You fast one day, you leave one day. Why not just fast straight? Just fast them all. What's the hikmah in skipping one day? Good, you feel it more, okay? You don't want to get used to it. Eh? If a person takes Tylenol every day, yeah, as many of our people do, right? The Tylenol stops working, okay? You become desensitized to the effect. So you have to feel it to have the effect, okay? So that's the highest spectrum, okay? MashaAllah, if we could make that, that's great. If not, then you have the middle. What is the middle? If you, subhanAllah, if you look at the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ in a week used to fast how many days? 2, which are? Monday and Thursday. And in a month, which days did he used to pay attention to? Good. Ayyamul Bid. Ayyamul Bid, right? So now if you look at that, what does it basically turn out to? You're not going to fast, Eid days, 2 days of Eid. You're not going to fast some of the Ayyam Tashriq, so on and so forth, other times. Okay? If you manage it that way, then you're coming out about somewhere close to like a third of the year. Okay? Now this is something that all of us can, aspire for. Right? It's not that difficult to do Monday, Thursday, and then 3 days in the middle of the month. Not so difficult. Okay? So we should make an intention that Ramadan is coming to an end. Fasting is a great ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So we should make it an intention that, inshallah, this is something that we want to try to do, inshallah. Okay? So to wrap up, we did that the secret behind Sawm are 2, self-discipline, right? And it cuts off the bloodstream for shaitan. Okay? And then we did 3 levels. 1 level is that the person only fasts in Ramadan. And the highest level is you fast every alternate day. And then the middle level, which inshallah we should all aim for, Monday, Thursdays, and Ayyamul Bid. Okay? Now, so then inshallah tomorrow, it might be our last meet. Then we'll do the other 3 levels from the other perspective. Inshallah.
You also other Sawm other than Ramadan, same ajr or is it different?
It depends on how much ikhlas we have, mashallah. No, it's not the same. رَبُّكَ وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيَخْتَارُ. Allah chooses, right? So what Allah chooses to give fadila, then you can't bring the fadila outside of that. Right? Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.